Wilson Morales from Black Men TV, talking to the one and only Debbi Morgan, who's back on the screen in Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You know, this is the character that's so not like you, but we get it. We appreciate it.
She is so delicious.
You can't be you can't always play the goody two shoes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You got to switch it up.
And when Tyler told me that he was going to write a character for me in his next series, I said, Tyler, I don't want to be any goody two shoes. I wanted to be bad. And he said, oh, don't worry. So
this is good. You know, so you started working with him. Obviously, we saw you really in Divorce in Black, you know, and so now you're in this one. So was it a twofer? You know, like I got a movie for you and I got a series.
You know, in all honesty, what happened was when I did Divorce in the Black, Tyler and I had never worked together before. And so after I did the movie, he called me and he said, Debbi, he said, you were so wonderful in this movie. And I said, oh, Tyler, I loved working with you. I'd love to work with you again. And he said, I'm going to come up for something. I'm going to come up with something for you. And then that's what he did. And that's how that happened.
You know, so you got this character, Olivia, who's a ball buster, takes no crap, you know, doesn't mind what her sons are doing. There's a little bit of a tolerance level at some point because they're her sons. How else would you best describe this character?
Well, Olivia is the matriarch of the family, and she is a proud church-going woman on Sundays, maybe a few days during the week. And on the days when she's not feeling particularly spiritual and the devil comes out, oh yes, she can be a shrewd, vengeful, take no prisoners, scary character. But she's also someone who's trying to, sorry about that. She's also someone who's, oh my God, I'm so sorry that they're calling from downstairs. I apologize.
That's okay.
They
somebody that's
yeah, so she Olivia's trying to maintain her seat at the table and her shares in the family business where her ex-husband Horace sits at the helm, and Horace despises and hates Olivia Hill from the depths of his soul and would like nothing more than to kick her to the wolves. But she ain't having it. She ain't having it. So you come for her, you better lock all the doors and close the shades.
Did you give yourself a background as to who Olivia was before we saw her on screen? Now, we saw in a couple episodes that if you want her to be that B girl, you know, that you know, that can come out and threaten you when her back's against the wall, she was going to be that B girl. But what kind of background you give her?
Yeah, you know, absolutely. The thing is, though, with a lot of Tyler's characters, he has such a clear vision. Because I had written out like a bio for her and we had talked about it, but Tyler has such a clear vision of how he sees each of his characters. So based on where I was coming from, because I said she has to be a little bit bipolar, you know, she has to have some like a little tick, you know, and which he loved. And so she probably had that from, you know, a very, very long time. If you agree with her, you're nice to her, she can be so sweet and demure and everything is fine. But you come at her the wrong way or mess with her children, even though she has she loves both of her sons and would protect them. However, she has a really passionate love for her son Charles. Roy, she just feels is just a lazy, druggy, good for nothing. But what I find in that is that whenever you're playing a so-called evil character who's flawed, you always want to have some kind of a soft spot or find some vulnerability with the character, which comes out of her when she's dealing with her younger son, Charles.
What does it take for a mom to just kind of like not love any of her kids? You know, it's like, unless they do something personal to her, what does it take for her to say, okay, I don't care about you?
You know, something, I don't know if I could really answer that question. I've never been a mom. I just know all moms are different. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine once, and she said, Debbi, you never wanted children. I said, no, I never did. So she said, what about when you get really old, you won't have anybody to help take care of you. I said, what if my children grew up and hated me and threw me in a facility and never came to see me again? That's not the reason to have children.
Nah. You want to be in a position where, like, listen, if it's time to go, they'll take care of you, and if not, you want them to lead their own lives.
Exactly.
You don't have kids so that they can take care of you.
Exactly.
You like to think you're going to be in good health. This is such a big ensemble. You and Richard Lawson and a few others. Were you like the statesmen? The people that come to, like, about being in this game and staying in this game.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was
along with you and Richard, between you and Richard Lawson, who've been around on different projects for over 20 years, was everybody coming up to you as far as advice, as far as getting roles and how to stay in this game?
You know what? No, not particularly. I mean, they would sort of say how happy they were to be working with two legends. And and it might be the reason why so many of these young actors on the show who are just bringing it. I mean, they're bringing their A game. Sometimes I wondered, is that to impress me and Richard? But I don't think so. But they gave me and Richard our flowers, and it's a really, really talented cast. It really is. And I think that's one of the reasons that now we've, catapulted to #1 on Netflix, which is great. 8.7 million viewers.
And it's still growing. It's still
growing, yes.
Keep talking about it. Listen, I watched it during the election as an escape,
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to put this on. I got 8 hours. I'm good. I'll find out what happened the next day. Just keep the mind focused.
Yeah, you watched all 8?
I watched all 8 on election day. I'm like, listen, I don't want to, every now and then I sneak in on my phone and be like, okay, get back. Let's keep the mentalness on this show.
Yeah, listen, what I did is I had a watch party, but I told all of my family and friends, I said, listen, my character isn't introduced until episode 3 and 4. So watch episode 1 and 2, and then when you come over to my house, we'll all watch 3 and 4 together. My cousin called me and she said, Debbi, she said, I couldn't believe Lillian in that scene. I said, Lillian? I said, who is Lillian? She said, no, I mean Olivia. I said, what do you mean you're not supposed to be watching episode 3 and 4? She said, cuz I'm sorry. She said, once I started watching it, I could not stop. She came to the watch party, and at the watch party, she said, cuz I know you're going to be mad at me, but I had to watch all 8 episodes. I could not stop watching.
It's good. As like right before I came on, I looked to see a couple of things, and I go, 25 years ago, you won your Emmy, first Black woman to win supporting actress Emmy for a daytime series. And, obviously it's 25 years later, you're still working, you're still, getting the top roles. We've got another soap opera coming out, a Black soap opera coming out. What do you think about that? That, like, you being first woman, back then to win it to now, where we've come in soap opera world, now they're coming up with a new Black soap opera.
The Gates. Yeah, there was a discussion with my manager about the possibility of my coming on that show, but of course I'm doing this series, and not only that, with soap operas it's different with doing a series. On a soap opera you work every single day 52 weeks out of a year. You don't get like a 5 or 6 months hiatus and then come back. And also they wanted me to move to Atlanta, and I live in Maryland, right outside of DC, and I had no desire to move to Atlanta. So it's all good. I can't wait to watch it. My friend Tamera Tooney is going to be starring in it.
At the end of the day, for those who have not watched it, watch it. Start watching Beauty in Black.
It's a joyful, great ride. You'll be sitting on the edge of your seat wondering what is coming next. That's what I love about Tyler's stories. I mean, he gets you in the beginning and he gets you at the end, and it is a cliffhanger every single episode. He doesn't wait until like the last shows to give you a cliffhanger. It is each and every one. And then part two of the series will be coming out in the spring. People are already upset. I gotta wait till next spring to see this show. That's not fair. I want to see all of it now, which is a really good sign. So we know we'll get them coming back.
You did great on the role, on your performance, on the series. Obviously, it's always a joy to see you work. I'm going to let you go before we got more technical issues, but I'm happy that we're able to talk, get enough to go going.
Okay, it was great talking with you, Wilson. Thank you.